Hello, everyone. Amanda Roop here with you again today. Just wanted to make a short lesson about transitioning into the workplace. I'm really excited to be bringing this lesson to you today because I have some lived experience with this myself, trying to transition from what we would say a non-professional to the professional world. So returning to work, of course, after rehab or wherever you may be right now in your life is a very challenging step in recovery and a very important step in recovery. It is the start of a new chapter in your life. And it's a transitioning into the professional world is a huge challenge for anyone's life, regardless of if they are in addiction or not. And like I said, it's one that I've experienced firsthand. And fortunately, within the past, say, 7 or 8 years, I've picked up some techniques, some skills, and some very important pointers that has helped me along my journey. So I just wanted to share those with you today. I didn't enter the professional world until I was probably 34, 35 years old. Up until then, I sort of just had one of those time clock, punch the clock jobs, really no engagement or business skills required. Just kind of went to work and went home. No real professional networking going on. And so then when I was 34, 35, I started working for a 4-year university. And very quickly, I was thrown into a whole different world and really was unprepared. So these things that I'm telling you today are things that I hard earned. There was no book or no guide, so to say, that I read beforehand to prepare me. I was just kind of thrown into that world and sink or swim, right? So I'm hoping that this will help you be able to swim and not have to experience the sinking part of it. The good thing was I quickly found some mentors that really changed my life forever. And I just want to share that wisdom that I've gained along the way that has helped me become successful in the professional world. The first thing, and really the most important thing, when I really think about everything that I've been through and everything that was involved in getting immersed in the business world, the very first thing, the most important thing, is to know your self-worth. I was anxious, lost, unprepared, like I said, very intimidated. And what I had a tendency to do was the big comparison game. I was thrown into an executive position rather quickly on my journey. And, they say comparison is the thief of joy, and it really is, because what I would want to do is scan the room. And, well, they look better than me. They look more professional than me. They have more credentials than me. They have more experience than me. They speak better than me. The list goes on and on, as you can imagine. Our brains love to compare. I'll never be able to perform that way. Man, I wish I could present that way. I mean, I was watching people do, hour, 2 hour long presentations in board meetings, and my heart would accelerate when I knew it was time for me to just introduce myself. That's how unprepared that I was. So knowing your self-worth going into it, because I didn't, so it's kind of learning from my mistake here, stopping the negative self-talk. If you have a seat at the table, then you've earned that seat at the table. You deserve that seat at the table. No comparison, no negative self-talk. Just really start to affirm yourself as a professional. Day one. On the job, actually, interview time. Start affirming yourself. I deserve to be here. I've worked hard in my recovery. I deserve a seat at the table. I am just as competent as anyone else. And so I also think remembering your really specific, unique lived experience will help you validate your self-worth in getting that position or starting that job. You know, people may have master's degrees and doctorates and all of the sorts of things that you don't have, but you have lived a life that involves struggle that you've overcame. And with that gives you a specific skill set and relatability and compassion and empathy that perhaps other people don't have. So really try to put your situation into perspective and know your self-worth. Only you can bring to that table what you can bring, and other people can't. I always like to say that anyone can learn a skill set. You put anybody in front of me and I can teach them presentation skills. I can teach them how to do Excel or spreadsheets or whatever. But you can't teach people character. You can't teach people perseverance. You can't teach people empathy, compassion, and all of the things that you already intrinsically have. So hold your head up and hold your shoulders up and keep your head up high and know your self-worth. Number one, to transitioning to the workplace. Don't be down on yourself. You deserve to be there. Number two, don't rush into it. We can't stress enough how crucial it is for you to not place all of that pressure on you to just get back to what you were doing pre-addiction. You might be a highly qualified lawyer or doctor, or maybe you already were in the business world. But still, ease your way back up to the top of your game, or where you were beforehand. If you place all of these unrealistic expectations upon yourself, then what's at risk? Your sobriety, your recovery. We're already working through all of that. So don't rush when you are ready to enter back into the workplace, back into the professional world. You will know it intuitively that it's time. It's too easy, I think, to get out of rehab or wherever you are. It may not be a rehabilitation center, but to start your journey on recovery and feel like everything's fine. I can handle this. I've got this. I can transition right back into where I was. But jumping headfirst into any kind of role that causes stress and pressure, you're going to burn out pretty quickly. It's really easily done for people that don't have a lot of stressors or things in their life to burn out. So for someone starting their recovery journey, even more so. So take your time, make sure you get your health back to a stable place, and give yourself the best chance of not just recovery, but long-term, life-lasting recovery, okay? 3, and this is a big one, decide what you want to say to your coworkers, or if you want to say anything at all. Dealing with coworkers, again, may be awkward, put some social pressures on us. Even if you enjoy working with them, there's always in the back of your mind that lived experience, right? And do they know? Do they know where I just came from? Do they know my rap sheet? Do they know my history, my background? That's up to you. There may be some disclosure needed with supervisors or administration in whatever organization that you're entering into, but these coworkers are just that, and you have control over how much information that you want to share, including the options to keep things totally private. It's a need-to-know basis, I feel like, and I feel like it's totally up to you. If it causes you stress or unnecessary grief or overthinking or makes you feel negative about your life, you need not share anything. But some people feel better being more transparent, getting the elephant out of the room. What is that phrase? The elephant in the room, whatever, kind of getting in front of everything. So you have to pick, which one do you want? Do you want to keep things private? Is that the way that you want to do it? Or do you want a disclosure about, hey, I'm just coming out of this facility, of this program, of this treatment model, really working on my sobriety, wanted you guys to know. Again, up to you. Being in a treatment model or being in a rehabilitation center or under someone else's care, maybe I should say, we really get used to someone making decisions for us. And it becomes really, really easy. Sometimes it could even become a crutch for not making our own decisions. But when you are ready to transition into a different phase of life, and perhaps that is one of going back into the workplace, those decisions are totally up to you. Create boundaries to protect your sobriety, and then expect and enforce other people to respect them. And we have a whole lesson on refusal skills and setting boundaries that will help you define those and help you to do that. But don't feel pressured to be an open book. Remember, it's on your terms, whatever you feel comfortable with. 4, please follow through with your aftercare. Now, the workplace is going to get hectic. You're going to be back on a schedule, back on certain tasks that you have to do, responsibilities, and the like. And even though you're making this transition, don't forget to take care of yourself to keep your relapse risk low as it can go. A major transition, like being back into the workplace, has its ups and downs. So you're still going to need your aftercare treatment plan. You still need that support system. You are still going to need the therapy sessions, the group sessions. Recovering, from substance use disorder can make exhaustion more likely, stress more likely. We just talked about burnout. You are just now establishing healthy habits. So they are less stable than if you have had those healthy habits for years and years. And I say that to say they need to be protected. They need that aftercare plan and that support system to make sure that you stay in recovery. And at an early stage, going back into the workplace, I feel like that's probably a higher chance of relapsable moments and stress and exhaustion and really giving into those triggers if you don't have that aftercare and you don't have that support system in place. So take self-care seriously when you're transitioning back into the workplace. Don't forget about it. Still prioritize your healthy eating habits, movement for your body, getting good sleep, relying on your treatment providers, your counselors, your friends, your sober friends. Hopefully that's the only ones you have coming into recovery. And that will go a long way in making the transition into the workplace a whole lot more stable and a whole lot healthier for you. 5, and this is the one that really helped me, find a work mentor. Now, luckily for me, they found me. I was on the struggle bus. I really was. They believed in me. They knew that I had what it took to build these programs with the Tech Center and get these students enrolled and to guide this large number of staff members that I had. They believed in me more than I believed in myself, to be to be honest. So I think a couple of really, really lovely people, big-hearted people, kind of seen that I was on the struggle and they found me. Well, unfortunately, sometimes our mentors don't find us and we have to find them. I encourage you right off the bat to scope out a good role model and a good mentor in your new workplace, or even someone that knows about the type of work that you're doing and what skill sets you're going to need to acquire. I don't think I would be where I am today, honestly, without finding the good work mentors. I think it's important maybe for you in recovery to find someone that knows your journey, like someone like Jason, that has climbed the ladder of the business world. They're in recovery themselves. They can offer you that perspective right where you are. And those people are out there and they're available. And there's so many people that want to mentor and be that support system, especially if they have walked the road that you have been on, because it's like paying it forward. You know what I mean? For them. So find a mentor that's willing to take the time with you, to pour into you, to be there when you need support or you have questions, and you will immediately feel empowered and you'll feel like you have that lifeline, and you'll just learn so much. I learned so much from my work mentors. And so spending time with them, gave me the encouragement and the empowerment to do what I needed to do and really boosted my confidence. So find that work mentor. They're out there. I hope they find you like they did me, because I was kind of floundering, and they were like, we need to help this lady. But hopefully, even if they don't find you, you will find them. Invaluable resource. 6, ask questions. It is totally okay if you don't know the answers to everything. I have started new workplaces before, and I just feel a little bit insecure asking questions. I feel like if I'm hired, I should just know everything. But coming through the business world, specifically higher education, I have learned that being inquisitive and asking questions is actually a really good asset and a really good look for you, because first of all, nobody expects us to know everything coming into a new workplace. It's really unrealistic. Asking questions, using your good communication skills that we went over in that lesson to engage. Can you clarify that? I have some more questions about that. You think that that's going to make you look like you don't know how to do the job. But in actuality, it makes you look interested, engaged, inquisitive. Like, I want to know this because I want to do the best job for you. Employers, and I'm speaking as someone who did a lot of hiring, like it when you ask questions. So don't feel weird. Don't feel stupid because you have a bunch of questions. It's actually a really good thing. And it shows that workplace employer or coworker or whoever it might be that you want to do it the right way and you want to do a good job. 7, use those networking skills. We had a lesson on networking. We know that we do that all day, every day, whether we know it or not, whether it's intentional or unintentional. But when you transition into the workplace, it's going to be really, really useful if you start intentionally networking. We start a job, we want to build positive work relationships. It helps to create a support system. I was super friendly when I started at the university. I tried to really make friends with people from other departments, the IT department, English department, nursing department, whatever. And so I was very intentional about reaching out to say 2 or 3 people in every department. And what I found was later on down the road, maybe 2 or 3 years down the road, when I needed something from that person, they were way more willing and supportive of me because I had already fostered and already built that really good positive relationship. So cultivate those great communication skills, being friendly and warm, and creating good, healthy work relationships will benefit you the duration of your time there. We need people. Sometimes we feel like an island and we feel like we don't need people, but we can't survive, and we surely can't thrive that way. So no man's an island. We need people. We can't thrive in isolation. So get to know and network your new workplace. Also, you know when there's big red flags waving and there's going to be someone there that may have a really negative influence on you, or someone there that could potentially be toxic or compromise your recovery. Stay away from those people. You remember in the networking skills, the lesson, I was saying keep your circle positive and people that can pour positivity into your life and that you can use as a role model. Now, I know we can't just, if there's a toxic coworker or whatever, we can't just cut them off completely, but we can remain neutral, right? And we don't have to associate with them in any other way past what our workplace requires. 8, and the final one, take ownership of your progress. Be confident in your skills. Be confident in your ability to get the job done. Understand what you need, because this is about you. Now, you people pleasers are going to jump into the workplace and burn yourself out because you're going to want to make everybody happy. But think of yourself too. Let people know what you need. Look at your career or your new workplace as a journey. Plan and pace yourself. Acknowledge those feelings of anxiety, but also see this as a really exciting new opportunity to start a new chapter in your life and to support your recovery efforts with a stable, rewarding position that hopefully pays you good and can invest in your future, just as sobriety is investing in your health and your well-being. So take ownership of your progress. See how far that you've come, and go into this with excitement, with anticipation. I read something years ago and it's still stuck in my head. I was one of those, and perhaps you are or were too. Oh my God, I gotta go to work today. Oh my God, I gotta do laundry, I gotta cook dinner, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do that. I had no idea that probably wasn't the best way to start my day, go through my day, and end my day. And I read this book, and this guy says, don't say you got to, say you get to. So in other words, I get to go to work today. I get to do my laundry today. So it's like an opportunity. You know what I mean? See it as excitement, see it with anticipation, and see it as a great opportunity to restart your life and get a fresh start on life. Keep in mind, everybody's recovery journey, of course, is different. When you take these steps or any other insights that you may have to transition from rehabilitation back into independent living, you improve your chances of success. A little forethought and planning, of course, can go a long way in protecting your path to a lifelong recovery. Planning is so important. We don't want to just jump into the frying pan, into the fire, into the fire, into the frying pan. You know, I always say all of these sayings and I always mess them all up, but you guys know what I'm saying. You don't want to jump from one thing to the other without forethought, without planning, and without knowing exactly what you're getting into, okay? So a little planning, a little forethought goes a long way. I'm so excited for that chapter in your life. Being in the business world, being in the workplace, of course, gives us purpose. It helps us use those leadership traits that we intrinsically have. And we know by now that leadership is about serving others. So any kind of organization or workplace that you may be transitioning into, there are going to be numerous opportunities to serve others, which is true leadership. So whether you're going into the business world, you already have all the degrees and you're just waiting to get back to where you were, or whether you're just going to an entry-level position, you're still a leader. It's still a huge transition. You have those traits inside of you, and you've always had them, that you're going to be able to use. Let me go back over these really quickly. I always like to do that just in case I miss something or you miss something. Know your self-worth, right? You deserve a seat at the table. Don't rush it. You don't have to get out of rehab on Monday and hit the workplace on Tuesday. If you feel ready for that, fine. If you don't, you'll know. So don't rush it. 3, what are you going to say to your coworkers, if anything? Totally up to you. 4, follow through with your aftercare. Don't abandon your support groups. Don't cancel all your therapy sessions because you're working now and you don't have time. Keep up with that aftercare treatment plan. 5, find some good, positive work mentors. 6, don't be afraid to ask questions. It actually makes you seem very interested, that you want to do things the right way. 7, use those networking skills, but keep your circle positive. And 8, look at your accomplishments, take ownership of your progress, be confident in your skills to do the job and to do it the right way. Well, I hope that these will help you when you transition back into the workplace. Like I said, when I started in the business world, I was the little girl in the corner. Oh God, I would count like there would be a circle and everybody would be introducing themselves and I would just be counting down the seconds until it was my time. I just wasn't very confident. But these are some things actually that I learned and I started doing and really bolstered my confidence and made me successful in the area that I was put in. So I know that they'll help you too, okay? And I just wanted to say that I'm proud of you. This is like the last module, I think, in the program. So you've done great. You have came a really long way. You have listened to us talk for hours upon hours upon hours. And for that, you deserve a gold star. Yeah, because that's so hard, just listening to people talk and talk and talk and taking notes and trying to get it all in your head. So already, you've done an amazing job. And so thank you so much for letting me share my lived experience with you and kind of what I've learned along the way. And I can't wait to talk to you soon. Best wishes on your recovery journey. Thank you so much. Until next time.